really? Oh, really? This is interesting news, isn't it? Zack Snyder's Justice League revival is possible. Netflix candidate to buy DC. Long live the king! Zack Snyder's Justice League universe could make a comeback if Netflix ends up buying Warner Bros. With its DC Studios. That rhymed on the play of the game. Bars! That's the possible speculation following a report from Variety, citing Wells Fargo media analyst, like Nerdrotic says, Stephen Cahill, who identified the soon-to-be standalone Warner Bros. As a prime acquisition target. Prior to the news of a potential Skydance Paramount bid, which I did hear about for Warner Bros., analyst Stephen Cahill named Netflix the most compelling buyer, ranking it ahead of Amazon, Apple, Comcast, Sony, and Paramount Skydance. Indeed, prior to news of Paramount Skydance's prepping bid for WBD, which was first reported by the Wall Street Journal, Wells Fargo media analyst Stephen Cahill issued a note that pegged, that's funny, after I said analyst, that's hilarious, the future standalone Warner Bros. As an attractive M&A candidate, with Netflix being, quote, the most compelling buyer, and other potential suitors, including Amazon, Apple, Comcast, Sony, and Paramount Skydance. Update. The New York Post backs up claims that Netflix is a contender to buy WB. The report arrives as the entertainment industry braces for massive shifts, which are thought to involve tech companies scooping up film studios at bargain basement prices. Rumors have also said Apple has been interested in Disney, and Skydance is essentially a tech company as a result of Oracle. Netflix can be looked at as a tech company. Comcast owns Universal. Oh, I didn't know that. Warner Bros. Discovery is planning to split in 2026 into separate entities. Warner Bros., which will hold the studios that rhymed into play the game bars, HBO, DC, etc., and Discovery Global, which will retain the cable and network assets. Excuse me. The split was confirmed by CEO David Zaslav and lines up with what analysts say make Warner Bros. Much more attractive for acquisition, especially by a content-hungry giant like Netflix. Snyder's DC return becomes a real possibility for fans of Snyder's DC films, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. The Netflix scenario opens the door for possibilities that once seemed closed. Since exiting the DCEU, Snyder has found a home at Netflix, where he's developed Rebel Moon, Army of the Dead, and Twilight of the Gods. He also is working on a police drama project for the streamer. I thought he was doing a UFC movie too, right? Fighter. I don't know who he's doing that for, though. A potential acquisition would put his past and present under the same roof, and with it, the keys to DC. Snyder fans have long speculated that Netflix could be the path toward the dark side. Now, the path to continuing or rebooting his version of the DC universe. That theory, once brushed off as wishful thinking, now has a sliver of plausibility. If Netflix owned the studio and IP outright, it could greenlight a Snyderverse continuation alongside other DC projects. You damn right, Cosmic Book News! Let's see, and if the studio sees value in multiple continuities, as it already does with series, animation, and spin-offs, there's nothing stopping the scenario where Snyder's characters and arcs return in some form. This could mean that Zack Snyder's Justice League Parts 2 and 3 could finally see the light of day, as well as Ben Affleck's version of The Batman. Well. Here's the thing. One thing about Zack Snyder fans of all types. We have hope. You never know. And you do know if this happens, every doubter out there is going to get "I told you so" in their timeline, in their inbox, and verbally in front of all their friends and family. People are going to be like, told you it's going to eventually get done. Told you. If not, so be it. But Zack already proved how good he is with Zack Snyder's Justice League. He could do it. He proved he could make a masterpiece with that. He's already made other masterpieces. But, I would definitely love to see this done. And I'm glad to pay for it in the theater for the full experience, Netflix. If you just brought the streaming, I'm fine with that. But I absolutely, as a fan of superhero comic book movies and a fan of Zack Snyder, and I like you too, Netflix. I've dealt with you guys in the past, worked with you, and you were very cordial, very nice, and you paid very well. So I still like you. Let's get her done. Get it done. 10 million subscribers. Woo!